Hello good people and welcome back. Now, Magnus Carlsen once said that Super GM Hikaru is so resourceful in finding tactics and finding out of nowhere defensive resources at the minimum amount of time, aka bullet or blitz. Now imagine the feeling of being a regular GM against Hikaru when at the moment of the position it's quiet, and knowing Hikaru's tactical prowess, you kind of slip up during a so-called quiet position. Let's have a look at this position. Hikaru plays his white here, and it's white to play, and white to play queen to e2, second rank, developing the queen, bishop to f8, f3, breaking through, attempting to open this file, e5, f3, e takes, and now queen to f3, trying to infiltrate the f7 square. Also, the queen can't jump in there because, well, that's a rook. So, the opponent plays rook to e7, which is a blunderous game-ending move. And Hikaru finds how to finish this off quite handily, but can you? Also, we could learn something from this. Let's boost that ELO. Let's get it.
Round 1. Fight!
So this game took place in early 2025, January 7th, in the realms of chess.com. Hikaru plays as white against Igor Gulkov. I had to say it like that because I think that's how you say it. Anyways, b3. Oh, before I begin, before I forget, if you do find this content helpful, tolerable, and somewhat entertaining and helping in your chess journey, please leave a like and sub. You have my gratitude. Let's get started. So b3 by Hikaru, the Nimso Larsen attack. g6 by the opponent. Bishop to b2, knight to f6. And Hikaru takes. Thing is, you ruin the opponent's pawn structure, but you do lose the bishop pair. And it's up to black here to take advantage of that. Hikaru plays e3, d5. Hikaru plays d4 immediately to close ideas here. Bishop to g7, knight to e2, c6, g3, f5. Now allowing the bishop to have scope, but as long as Hikaru keeps the position solid as granite, it's hard to take advantage of it. And also if the position is, I can't draw lines, if the position is closed, it's hard to take advantage of it. Bishop to g2, bishop to e6. Interesting, this is a normal developing move, but this bishop is acting like a pawn. Castle king, knight to d7, knight to d2, knight to f6. Just gathering nice squares in the middle, and we have c4. Knight to e4, rook to c1, maintaining the tension in the middle there. Castle king, knight to f4, and queen to a5. Eyeing this. Here, knight takes, f takes. If this didn't exist, this being the f7 pawn, be nice to exert pressure here and on the f3 square, but that is not the case. C takes on a d5, c takes on d5, knight to e6. And the thing is, having left a bishop there, Hikaru gobbles it up, of course with the idea that this is doubled, but more importantly, this is a liability. These two pawns are kind of hanging, and this root pawn is not protected. And guess what? This is still granite. So these are positional ideas. And the bishop here on h3 can pose problems to the light squares. So bishop to h3, rook f to e8, queen to e2. We're arriving at that position. And here, bishop to f8. A strong player knows that bishops deserve to be in open diagonals, but also in corresponding squares where they have maximum scope. Here, Hikaru returns the favor with f3 because everybody knows that rooks deserve to be in open files. So e5 by the opponent, and it's still fairly even. The thing is, black was banking on the fact that pushing this pawn not only takes away this pawn as a weakness, but he lets this happen. F takes on e4 and captures here, which means Hikaru will capitalize because you can't put your queen there on c7 on the weakness on f7. And here, the opponent needs to defend accurately. This other rook is not yet quite ready, and this is fairly even according to supercomputer. I'm just referring to Stockfish 16 as a supercomputer because I've got a decent rig here, maybe, from 5 years ago. But look at the scope that white is eyeing at. C8, and currently controlling the C file, and currently threatening here. How do you defend this? Magnus, of course, knows how to, and maybe the other super GMs, but this player, Mr. Igor Gulkov, does not, and plays rook to e7. Now I'm going to tell you what the correct response is, as I casually say it, sitting here in my little studio, like an armchair commentator. Bishop to g7 was the way to go. And you give up this square. Let's say after takes there, takes, you need to be progressive. You have opposite bishops. So after bishop to e6, very uncomfortable looking, you sidestep. And then now, the queen can gobble up that square and takes and kind of dominate the dark square diagonal. But instead, after queen to f3 threatening here, the opponent not only blocks the bishop, but also trips all over with a poor defense. And here Hikaru plays bishop to e6. The opponent resigned. The opponent resigned simply because, let's go through the variations. If rook takes on e6, then you have the simple fork. And after that, with the domination of light squares and 2 active rooks, the game is over. And let's say you don't take and you go here. The thing is, because that rook cannot help you, nor the queen can't protect the 7th rank, you have queen to f6 tactics now. You go here, you hang a rook. And if you're resilient and you refuse because this is covered and you just have tremendous amount of resource there, queen to f8 finishes the game after takes and takes. Guess what? That is checkmate. So the blunderous rook to e7 simple tactics finish the game. It looks so simple, but at the highest level of chess, one mistake is all that is needed. And these guys set this up. These guys in the 2700s, or in this case, number 2 in the world, set this up just, to bat it, basically. Hope you got something out of that. Simple concepts, but really powerful stuff. I know I did. I'll see you guys later. Please leave a like and sub.